Welcome back, everyone. I'm so grateful you're joining me for this episode. Let's take a deep breath together. Have you ever stopped to think about how a small island nation became one of the most powerful countries in the world? Today, we travel together to Japan. We will walk through thousands of years of history. We will meet emperors and warriors. We will see how tradition and change lived together in one place. This is a story about an island that changed the world. So close your eyes if you can, breathe slowly, and let's begin this journey together. A very long time ago, more than 2,000 years ago, Japan was not one country. It was many small villages. These villages were on islands. The islands were covered with mountains and forests. The people lived near the sea. They fished, they grew rice, they made simple tools from stone and wood. Life was hard, but the people were strong. They worked together. They believed that gods lived in the mountains, in the rivers, and in the trees. They called these gods kami. Every rock, every river, every tree had a spirit. The people respected nature. They thanked the gods for the rain and the sun. Slowly, some villages became bigger. Some leaders became more powerful. These leaders wanted to control more land. They wanted to control more people. And so, the small villages started to join together. They formed clans. Each clan had a chief. The chiefs fought each other. They made alliances. They broke alliances. It was a time of competition and survival. But one clan became stronger than all the others. This clan said they were descendants of the sun goddess, Amaterasu. They said the gods chose them to rule. And slowly, people began to believe them. This clan became the imperial family, and the first emperor of Japan was born. But who was this emperor? And how did he unite the islands? The first emperors of Japan did not have full control. They had power, yes, but the clans were still strong. The emperors needed help. They needed ideas. They looked to their neighbor across the sea. They looked to China. China was a great civilization. China had writing. China had laws. China had Buddhism. Japan wanted to learn. So Japanese leaders traveled to China. They studied. They brought back knowledge. They brought back the Chinese writing system. They brought back Buddhism, a religion about peace and wisdom. They brought back ideas about government. Japan changed quickly. The emperor built a capital city. The city was called Nara. Later, the capital moved to a city called Kyoto. Kyoto became the heart of Japanese culture. Poets wrote beautiful poems. Artists painted. Monks built temples. The emperor lived in a golden palace. But even though the emperor was respected, he did not have real power anymore. The powerful clans controlled the land. They controlled the armies. They controlled the money. The emperor became a symbol. He was like the sun. Everyone could see him, but no one could touch him. And during this time, a new kind of leader appeared. These leaders were called samurai. They were warriors. They fought for the clans. They followed a strict code of honor. They were loyal. They were brave. They were feared. And soon, the samurai would change everything. For hundreds of years, Japan was ruled by samurai. The most powerful samurai became military leaders. They were called shoguns. The shogun had the real power. The emperor stayed in Kyoto, but he only had ceremonies. The shogun controlled the country. The samurai followed the shogun. They protected him. They fought his enemies. Life in Japan became organized. Every person had a role. The samurai were at the top. Below them were the farmers. Farmers grew rice. Rice was the most important food. Below the farmers were the craftsmen. They made tools, weapons, and beautiful things. At the bottom were the merchants. They bought and sold goods. Everyone knew their place. Everyone followed the rules. But this was also a time of war. Different samurai clans fought each other. They wanted land. They wanted power. Villages burned. People died. It was a dark time. But even in darkness, culture grew. The samurai created a way of life. They believed in honor, loyalty, and discipline. They practiced martial arts. They learned swordsmanship. They meditated. They wrote poetry. They drank tea in silent ceremonies. This was the way of the samurai, the way of the warrior. And for a long time, Japan was closed. No foreigners were allowed. Japan wanted to stay pure. Japan wanted to stay Japanese. But the world was changing, and soon the outside world would knock on Japan's door. In the year 1853, something strange happened. Black ships appeared in Tokyo Bay. These ships were from America. They were huge. They had steam engines. They had cannons. The Japanese had never seen anything like them. The Americans brought a letter. The letter was from the President of the United States. It said, "Open your ports, trade with us, join the modern world." Japan was shocked. Japan was afraid. For more than 200 years, Japan had been closed. No one came in. No one went out. But now, the Americans were here, and they were powerful. The shogun did not know what to do. Some samurai said, "Fight them. Protect Japan." Other samurai said, "Learn from them. Japan must change or die." Japan was divided. There were arguments. There were fights. And then, something incredible happened. The emperor returned to power. This was called the Meiji Restoration. The young emperor said, "Japan will change. We will learn from the West. We will become strong." And Japan changed faster than any country in history. They built factories. They built railroads. They built a modern army. They sent students to Europe and America. These students learned science, technology, and government. They came back and taught others. Japan transformed. In just 50 years, Japan became a world power. But this change was not easy. Many people lost their old way of life. The samurai lost their swords. They lost their status. Some were angry. Some were sad. But Japan moved forward, and the world watched in amazement. Japan became powerful. But power can be dangerous. Japan wanted to be respected. Japan wanted to be equal to the Western countries. So Japan built an empire. They took control of Korea. They took control of parts of China. They fought wars. And then came the greatest war of all, World War II. Japan joined the war. They fought against America, Britain, and many other countries. At first, Japan won many battles, but slowly the war turned. Japan lost. The cities were bombed. Tokyo burned. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed by atomic bombs. Millions of people died. Japan surrendered in 1945. The country was broken. The people were hungry. The future was dark. But something amazing happened. Japan did not give up. The Japanese people worked. They rebuilt. They created new companies. They made cars, electronics, cameras. They focused on quality. They focused on innovation. 30 years after the war, Japan was one of the richest countries in the world. Today, Japan is a land of tradition and technology. You can see ancient temples next to modern skyscrapers. You can see monks in robes and businessmen in suits. Japan is a country that respects its past, but walks into the future. This is the story of Japan, a story of islands, emperors, samurai, and rebirth. So now you know the story of Japan, from small villages to a global power, from emperors to samurai, from isolation to openness, from destruction to rebirth. What can we learn from this story? Japan teaches us that change is hard, but change is necessary. Japan teaches us that tradition and progress can live together. Japan teaches us that even after great loss, we can rebuild, we can grow, we can become strong again. And you, my friend, you are on your own journey. You are learning English. Some days are easy. Some days are hard. But you continue. You listen. You learn. You grow. Just like Japan, you are building something new. You are creating a better version of yourself. Every story you listen to makes you stronger. Every word you understand is a victory. So I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank you for trusting me with your time. And I want to invite you to come back. Next time, we will travel to another place. We will meet other people. We will learn together. If this story touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you learned. Tell me where you want to travel next. And if you are new here, subscribe to Storyline English. This is not just a channel. This is a journey we take together. Until next time, breathe deeply, learn slowly, and keep moving forward. I believe in you.